Yes.
I can't take off the shirt because it's a work shirt and it's got like holes and stains.
Oh,
but
okay.
I can hang out in a hoodie and veg.
My shirt's wrong side out, we discovered.
It is, but you can't tell unless you're looking at the back.
Yeah, only the back. 'Cause it also has paint on the other side that you can almost see through the little paint space.
I see. I don't think that should show. I'm going to take this off though so I can bring my feet up.
Okay. We'll edit around.
Did you already hit play?
Oh, yeah.
You said you were going to edit around last time and you did not.
I think this is my favorite part of podcasts is like the weird banter setup before it really begins, and then you're like, just kidding, let's start the thing.
Yeah, this is the part where I'm like Jim from The Office, and I'm just gonna make like faces at the camera because of you now.
All right. Hey, welcome to Based on My Experience. We're in a new setting. Welcome to my home. We've been in Jill's kitchen for a long time, and now we're in my living room, and Jill has my notes on her phone.
All new animals to meet.
This is Toby. Jill also has a Toby, but it's with an I, and it's different. But they're both pretty derpy looking. Do you agree, you little derper? Yeah. All right. I got one from my group that makes small decisions that I thought was worth talking about. It is wedding related. And I think, but also kind of like superstitial too. All right, so this person is asking, should I use a bridal bag worn during a third marriage ceremony as my something borrowed if it helps build a relationship to do so? And I think the last part is important. I don't, do you have any thoughts on something borrowed, something blues? Like those kinds of wedding traditions? Do you care?
I don't understand it. I mean, it's fun in the moment, but I think beyond the funness of it, I don't think I have. Like, I definitely would not stress or
this would be a very minor conversation for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, in a way, I think like the borrowed or the blue would be the responsibility of the people around me. Like your maid of honor or your mother, I feel would be the people to provide one of those things, and you to provide the new. And like, don't get me wrong, I do have an appreciation for symbolism. Right. I've always said I feel like a wedding is like a spell in a way.
Yeah. I think that is kind of what the poster is getting at. I did have at my first wedding a something borrowed and blue was the same thing. And my friend had this really cool brooch that was blue and sparkly. And I was like, loan me your brooch for the day. And so I found that one myself. Okay, but TLDR, something borrowed traditionally should be from a happily married couple. Is it a bad omen to use something borrowed if it's from a third marriage that is also very new? So, longer details. My future father-in-law recently remarried, and his new wife offered me her bridal purse as something borrowed. She's a decent person, but we clash sometimes. She's a control freak, and I'm more go with the flow. That's a detail I didn't pick up the first time. I'm considering using the purse to help repair our dynamic since it was thoughtful of her to offer. Thus, the building a relationship part.
Okay.
So, okay. But then I looked into the tradition, and something borrowed is meant to bring good luck from a happily married couple. This is her second marriage and his third, and it's all very new, so I'm unsure if it's the best omen. I don't know for sure if they're happy, but I assume so, LOL, the poster says. Could a purse be haunted by a bad marriage?
Could it be haunted?
Yeah.
I mean, anything can be haunted, I think. Yes, anything can have a lingering something. Yeah. Or be haunted, as you want to call it. But I have that feeling about random things that aren't normal, but I think in a way she's already answered her own question, because if she already has these trepidations, then there's your answer. You know, that's all there is to it. I think, I so for example, when I wear clothing, just any clothing on a regular every day of the week, if I'm aware of my clothing, that is a problem. Like tags, or the sock seam is stabbing me in the toe.
The sock,
right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like, and I purchase and I wear my clothes to be comfortable. So I feel like if on an important day.
Right.
She's got a seam or a tag poking at her.
Yeah. Even if it's psychically poking at her.
Right. It's enough that it makes her aware of her clothes and takes away from the enjoyment.
Push her face on the thing.
Takes away from the enjoyment of the day.
Yeah.
I do have trouble with a lot of modern marriage things just because of how much money people are willing to spend.
Yeah.
That makes me very uncomfortable and very, 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 very anxious.
Right.
Just because I think we're in too much of a rush to be in debt.
Yes.
Honestly. I feel like something of meaning is way more important than But yeah.
What about the part that she's like, if I borrowed this purse, it would go a long way in kind of bringing a divide across the families, right? That it would feel like we're both new people in the family, like they have different personalities. If I do this as a favor to the mother-in-law, then that will something will happen because of that. Does she not
have coffee shops in her town? Because I feel like a wedding is one day, hopefully.
Yeah.
Whereas a relationship is multiple situations.
That's a good point.
If there's someone I wanted to get to know better, not necessarily coffee shop, but just you have 1,000 opportunities to improve a relationship. You have one day for a wedding. And there's just so many things that could go wrong. Why irk yourself before you even get started?
Right. And the poster reminds me of myself in that someone has offered me something and I'm going to say no. How could I possibly, right? Someone is making some sort of gesture. This will please them. Even if it makes me uncomfortable, it will make them happy. So that's probably why I should do it, right? But I also think like the other narrative of wedding is, it's your day, do you, and it's maybe the only time you'll ever be invited to do that.
Yeah.
So I can understand why the person wants to find a way to make this okay, but I think you're right. It's very clear that it's not okay, right? It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, she wouldn't even post about it if it was, easy, let's do it, why not?
Yeah.
Kind of easy breeziness to it, but
yeah.
I don't know. Any event in a person's life that is so charged. It's got so many other opportunities for issues. Why add to that?
Yeah. They do say, alternately, I could borrow something from my fiance's grandparents who've been happily married for 65 years. So wanting to borrow something from the most stable couple. But being married for 65 years does not translate to happiness. Right?
No. I mean, I hope they're happy, but that doesn't mean they were happy.
Yeah. Anybody who's seen their grandparents fight. And they also say, I don't love or hate the purse, and no one would really see it besides me and my bridesmaids. So on the one hand, like, what does it matter? It doesn't actually have any magic in it, and no one's going to see it, so you could just, like, go ahead and do the thing that would make somebody else happy.
Shit.
Oh!
She needs to hold it in her hand and say, does this bring me joy? And then find something that does.
There's such a better answer.
There's got to be something like that a friend or a family member or a neighbor's cousin's uncle has that would delight you more.
Delightful. That's such a good answer. Like, do the thing that delights you. Take her out to coffee. Actually get to know her.
Yeah, exactly.
Build relationship around relations, right? Rather than items.
Yeah.
A gesture is nowhere near like as healing as a conversation.
Yeah, get to know each other.
Also, I don't know if this picture is the purse, but it's very ugly. It's like a flat white thing with the weird sparkly sharp things on it. I didn't take a good picture of it, but it's not a good looking purse. Also, who needs a purse? Get pockets. Speaking of pockets, yesterday I wore men's pants. And not only did they have big, huge pockets, but one of the pockets had a pocket inside of it. What the fuck?
The pants I'm wearing right now have 7.
Wow. They're cargo pockets?
Yep.
So these were like dress pants, but they had like, you know how jeans sometimes, this one has like a fake extra pocket here?
Yeah.
But it was inside the pocket.
Yeah, I've got those too.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Men's pants are smart.
Yeah. Put pockets in wedding dresses. That's really what we need. Pockets
Did you ever see
everywhere.
Sex in the City?
Yes.
Big problems because her phone was she didn't have pockets for her phone.
Yes.
Yes,
I
that's
do
what that
remember
makes me
that.
think of.
All right. Well, like maybe having a purse, but I think get pockets, go to coffee. That's the answer.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think? Wedding traditions, bunk? Wedding traditions.
I want to hear people's favorite because
Oh.
there are so many that I don't like that I want to know what people do like.
Oh, what a great question.
What wedding traditions do you like? Do you feel like you wouldn't want to skip them?
That's a good point.
I don't like the awkward, weird sexual things. Like I don't like the garter.
Yeah, that one's stupid.
It's awkward. And I don't like I mean, I guess chucking the bouquet is kind of funny.
Chucking the bouquet is kind of funny.
As long as no one gets hurt. I feel like some people I know might tackle.
Yeah.
There might be some violence. I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely not a chicken dance kind of person.
Ooh, 10 out of 10 for chicken dance for me. I would chicken dance. I don't like cake in the face.
Oh God, no.
The cake
That
in the
is a
face
hard
is
no.
bad.
If someone did cake in the face and like, especially if
Divorce.
I said don't. No, I've seen posts on like Reddit that were like, I'm claustrophobic. I told him no cake in the face. He did it anyways.
Yeah.
He disrespected me and embarrassed me.
Yes.
We're getting a divorce. And I'm like, do it. Because, you ask your partner. And again, on a very significant day that you've spent a lot of time and money planning, like it's emotionally charged.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And if you clearly state what you want and the person doesn't honor it or can't or won't do the thing.
Right.
That sucks.
I hate that. And I lived in Ecuador for a while, and they intentionally smash your face into a cake for your birthday every birthday, and that's like a tradition to them. The only problem was some of my friends were doing that, and they almost skewered, got a toothpick in their face.
Ew.
That's what happened. Like, so yeah, let's not do anything violent on special holidays, please.
Yeah.
I don't know what is a traditional, modernly traditional wedding tradition that is good.
That is worth doing.
Mm-hmm.
I like sparklers while you wave.
My sister did that. Rachel did that.
I love that. I like that.
That was a really cool. It was at night, and it was a nice night.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a new one for you. I went to a wedding this summer that had a beer man who, as the wedding was about to begin, walked down the aisle first and handed out some beers to
I've seen videos
people in the
of
audience.
that, yeah.
And then they did a shot ski together.
I seen at the reception cannoli bar or something.
Ooh.
I think something like that would be some weird and unusual
The
thing.
s'mores bar is getting to be a thing. Build your own s'mores at the reception.
I've always been a fan of a good hot chocolate bar.
Oh, hell
Just for
yeah.
Christmas parties. So I can see that being pretty cool.
Okay. Cool.
I just know that for me, I'd have trouble being too cheap and not spending money on the right thing.
Yeah.
And wanting to do it all myself, and then I'd get caught cooking when I'm supposed to be walking down an aisle or something, because that's what I do. Because what was it? My one birthday, not the last one, the one before, where I was cooking. I made a taco bar for my birthday, and it was a really great spread, but I was still cooking an hour into my own birthday party, and I've learned my lesson. I'm not doing that anymore. I've learned that lesson twice. I forget my lessons.
And I think, again, in my first wedding, I was very young, and my partner was not that excited about being perceived on the wedding day. Being the center of attention was always uncomfortable.
Wasn't he 6 foot?
Yeah, he's a very tall man, but still.
So he's always going to be perceived.
But being the center of attention was weird. So we didn't do a lot of traditional things because they would be too demonstrative, too performative. And I particularly enjoy performances, and he didn't. And so there were, that was a line we had to kind of figure out a little bit, is what would be too much for him, and respecting his boundary.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was real, but also making sure that there was enough of everything else to have fun.
Yeah.
All right. Based on my experience, that's my opinion. Cool. Follow us on Instagram, Based on My Experience podcast, and like and comment and whatever. Thanks.